Never rely on motivation to get your work done. Motivation is unpredictable. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is much more reliable. While it sounds great in theory, the truth is, you can't just magically become disciplined after hearing it. So why do so many people struggle to stay disciplined? Why do we procrastinate, leave work until the last minute, or avoid it altogether? To help answer these questions, let's reflect on a story of a young man, Usama. Imagine Usama struggling through their first 2 years of high school, barely keeping up with assignments, leaving everything to the last minute, and feeling overwhelmed. But then, in the last 2 years, their grades improved dramatically, and their approach to work completely changed. What caused such a dramatic shift? Early years of high school were incredibly tough for Usama when it came to academics. Even middle school was a struggle in terms of getting good grades. It felt like there was no reason to care about grades at all. Despite being surrounded by friends who were doing well in school, their influence wasn't enough for Usama to push for any actual effort. Studying wasn't even a real part of his routine. At most, a chapter might be skimmed the night before a test. Just enough to tell the parents that something had been done to prepare. After meetings like that, the inevitable question would come from his parents. Why are you like this? Why don't you want to do your work? The truth was simple but hard to admit. Usama just didn't care. Grades didn't seem important, and there was no motivation for Usama to push for better results. Things started to change during mid-year, and ironically, it all began in English class. The class had a major project spanning a couple of months. The task was to take an outside idea and connect it to the novel being read in class, Cloud Atlas. For context, Cloud Atlas is a novel with 6 nested stories, taking the reader on a journey from the remote South Pacific in the 19th century to a post-apocalyptic future in Hawaii. The assignment sounded overwhelming, but it was around this time that a new interest began to emerge: programming and computer science. Teaching himself Java through YouTube and learning HTML and CSS on Codecademy became his passion. This newfound love for programming sparked an idea: to connect the themes of Cloud Atlas with concepts in programming. Suddenly, the project wasn't just about completing an assignment. It became an opportunity to explore something exciting and meaningful. The first time true dedication was shown toward a school project or assignment came during second year, and it brought a realization about discipline. Going above and beyond with effort and staying consistent resulted in an excellent grade. This achievement sparked a new perspective about the importance of discipline. For the first time in high school, Usama achieved A grade. That year, the GPA was close to a perfect 4. Why did this dramatic change happen? The answer is simple. A clear why was discovered. Having a concrete reason to stay disciplined made all the difference. The same principle applies to anything in life, whether it's a job, school, or personal goals. If there's no reason or purpose behind the work, it becomes easy to neglect or do it poorly. However, when the work is tied to a meaningful goal, like saving money to start pursuing bigger dreams or building a career, it becomes easier to stay committed. This leads to the first step in building discipline: finding your why. Without a target, there's no way to hit the mark. The reason for staying disciplined must be specific and tangible. A blur goal like being happier in the future won't work. Instead, the goal should be detailed enough to visualize and write down, serving as a constant reminder of what's at stake. Even with a strong why, staying disciplined can still be challenging if there's no clear deadline. Deadlines create urgency and narrow the focus on the goal. For instance, setting a schedule for completing specific tasks within a given time frame creates accountability and helps track progress. Deadlines also apply helpful pressure. They make it possible to break down larger goals into smaller, achievable steps. Writing down the why and establishing deadlines for each step ensures consistent progress toward the bigger picture. Pressure is a powerful motivator, and having deadlines is key to staying disciplined. Think about how much gets done right before a project or test is due. Leading up to the deadline, procrastination takes over. But as the clock ticks, that sense of urgency pushes the work to completion. This is why deadlines are essential. They apply just enough pressure to make action unavoidable. To build discipline, write down your why and set a clear deadline for each step needed to achieve it. Narrowing down the goal into smaller, time-bound tasks helps maintain focus and ensures steady progress. Without this structure, it's easy to lose sight of the ultimate purpose. When motivation is low, maybe after a sleepless night or on a particularly tough day, there's a simple question to ask. Do you truly want what you're working toward? If the answer is yes, then there's no choice but to do the work. There's no alternative if the goal is to turn the dream into reality. If staying disciplined feels impossible, it could mean one of two things. Either the why isn't strong enough or the goal isn't truly desired. This realization isn't something to fear. It's an opportunity to reassess. Sometimes it's necessary to redefine the why or pursue a different path that feels more aligned with personal values and aspirations. Life is finite, and the time to act is now. Every moment is an opportunity to work toward the life envisioned. The gift of time and opportunity should not be wasted. Use it to create a life that reflects true purpose and passion. Discipline isn't about doing things perfectly. It's about having a meaningful goal, creating structure, and persevering through challenges. With a strong why, clear deadlines, and unwavering commitment, success becomes a matter of when, not if.